So you're thinking about going back to school and you look online and you see all these stories of people completing their degrees in 6 months or 4 months or 3 months or 8 weeks or 5 weeks. And you're thinking, what is even possible? How are people doing this so fast? And what's realistic for me with my schedule? Today, I want to talk to you about how competency based education is a fantastic way to speed up your college journey, but it doesn't mean that everyone's going to finish in a matter of weeks or a matter of months. And I think there are two pathways that people take, but one solution that helps both of them succeed. Let's talk about it. Competency-based education, or CBE, is a really flexible way to get through a degree, and it is perfect for adult learners. In this setup, you're not spending hours in a classroom and being judged on how much time you spend working on something. You're demonstrating mastery of the concepts that they want you to know. So a lot of it focuses on taking tests, writing papers, and proving your knowledge. Students learn at their own pace, so it's flexible, it's efficient, and it really focuses on applying what you know to real world problems. It is perfect for adult learners. In my experience with competency based education, I've seen two types of learners. You have the sprinter and the slow and steady. The sprinter is focused on completing classes in a quick and efficient manner. If you need a degree for a promotion, this is your best bet. Also, if you're between jobs and you don't know when the next one's going to start, but you have a pocket of time and you can really focus on school, this is another great chance to sprint through that degree. The best type of school for this sort of learner is one that charges per session and not per credit. There are schools that will charge per 8 week or 6 week session, and you can complete as many classes as you can fit in that time. It's a great way to save money, but you've got to stay focused. This type of program is possible, but it requires clearing your schedule, making sure that you're not doing any heavy overtime at work, and you have fewer personal commitments, and you want a highly structured calendar. You need to do some planning if you're going to do this to make sure that you know how to go through it efficiently and that you're moving and moving and moving and keep going every day that you're working. Another thing that helps is if you have transfer credits from previous schooling, CLEP exams, the military. Transfer credits can really cut down on the amount of time that you have to spend working to finish your degree. So those stories you've seen online of people who finished a degree in only a matter of weeks or even a few months, usually it's because they've transferred in a lot of credits and they only have a few remaining to finish up. That way they can really buckle down and get those last few classes in. This isn't a person who is just coming out of high school, has no college experience, and wants to finish it all up in 2 months. It's just not going to happen. The sprinter is focused and motivated and is ready to do the work. Now let's talk about the second type of person. That's the slow and steady. And I would guess that this is probably the majority of people who enter these types of programs. These are working adults who really just want to finish a degree at their own pace in the time they have available to them. And their time may not be the same as a college student just coming out of high school who can really focus and commit every hour of every day to studying. For the slow and steady, this is the mode for a parent, a busy caregiver, somebody who's working a lot, a full-time job, and wants to complete the degree while they're still doing all those other things. They can't just put their lives on hold. You may take longer with this path, but it can be done in a sustainable way. So you're fitting the school into your life rather than trying to fit your life around your school. Depending on the program you're in, this could cost more, but not necessarily. And you can pick your program based on this. You can look for a school with a low cost per credit. And even some of the session-based schools, while they're not charging per credit, but per session, the overall cost is still low. So don't rule those out. When you're taking this approach, your major challenge is going to be sustaining motivation over the long haul. Rather than cramming everything into a short period and really focusing on it, you're going to want to set a schedule that works for you and can be kept up over time. You'll also want to make sure that you have a clear progression outline so that you know what classes to do when, and you can maintain that momentum even when you're only doing a little bit here and there throughout the week. Now, it may sound like this option will take you forever to get through a degree, and it will probably take you longer than if you were a sprinter, but even at a slow and steady pace, you could still complete a degree in under a year, maybe even 6 months. Again, a lot of it depends on the number of credits that you have to transfer in and the amount of time that you're ready to dedicate to the program. So that leads me to what I consider the secret for both types of learners, which is to break your coursework into micro tasks. This allows you to plan so that you always know what gaps of time are available in your schedule and what you should be doing during those gaps of time. For the sprinters, this keeps you locked in and moving efficiently through your work. And for the slow and steady learners, this can help you sustain that momentum over the long haul. I've mapped out a 3-step framework for finding your best study hours and aligning it with the work you need to get done. I'll be sharing it with my email list this week, so if you're not already on the list, click the link below in the description to get on the list, and I'll send it straight to your inbox. And if you're already on the list, here's a video that YouTube thinks you might want to watch next. I'll see you in the next video.